Welcome, everybody! Mobility Mindset. My buddy Mark, coworker extraordinaire, tired of sin dad. We have a fantastic guest today. Let's welcome our guest. Mark, do you want to pipe in? Because, I am way too cheery at this moment.
Sure. Yeah, you keep swallowing your burrito there, and I'll take it from here.
I didn't get dinner, guys.
Hi. So we're here for another episode of the Mobility Mindset. We got another family of a kiddo who is going to be using the Trexo. Isn't as of yet. I don't think. But you can see it built in the background there, ready to roll. Yeah.
Engineer husband did not put it together.
That's always.
So this is Jamie. Jamie is also the mother of a kiddo with special needs, and to be honest with you, I don't know a lot about Jamie because I intentionally didn't look it up because I wanted to meet you here live.
Okay, well, do we want to start from the beginning?
Okay.
Well, Max was born in the middle of COVID, like May 2020. Previous to that, pregnancy was great, no issues, nothing. On December, let's go with December. We did, you do the anatomy scan and measurements and yada, 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 yada. Our ultrasound tech noticed that he was measuring smaller than he was dated, if that makes sense.
Yep.
So, ultrasound to ultrasound, we get shipped down to Women's and Children's, which is the big hospital in Vancouver. And we were doing ultrasounds weekly, checking the circumference of his stomach. He was really small. And I didn't know any of this, right? So I don't know what any of this meant. I'm just like doing my thing, going to the appointments, doing what I'm told. At one of those appointments, they said, need to do an amnio. And I'm like, okay, what is that? And they tell you it's a big giant needle. Go, fine, whatever. Amnio came back inconclusive because they pierced the placenta. So still no reason to know that there's anything wrong or, concerns for Max, right? So in that same time in January, I should probably throw in that 2020 sucked. So in that time, my dad was diagnosed with esophageal cancer, and he was stage 4. So he lived with us until he decided that he was going to go home. He had, retired up into the Okanagan. He retired, and that's it. He wasn't going to do the chemo radiation anymore. He wanted quality of life over quantity. Christmas was the last time I saw my dad, Christmas of 2019. So then we got our reports back and tests back from Max's amnio. Everything was inconclusive and fine, was what they had said. And then 2 days later, my dad passed away. So that's fine. Not fine, but I was still pregnant. So we were doing like heart rate monitors and all of that fun stuff. To this day, nothing's wrong. Like there's no alarm going off, you're just measuring small, that kind of thing. Max was born in May, scheduled C-section because he was my second. And we opted for the easy way out, if you wanted to put it that way. And still nothing. He was 7 pounds, born a couple of weeks early. The only thing that popped up during all those ultrasounds that we did at Women's and Children's in January was the original dating ultrasound was wrong. So I think that Max was born premature. C-section is like 2+ weeks, 2-ish weeks. I think he was more than 2 weeks early. His brother was 10 pounds. He's 7. Dramatic difference there. So, that was that. We ended up being in the hospital for a couple of days. Still nothing to be alarmed about. Our pediatrician wasn't thinking anything. A month later, Father's Day, we spent 4 days in there because he would not stop throwing up. And we just thought something wasn't digesting well or he was small. So we were having reflux issues. Thinking back, that was the first red flag of something was wrong. Because he had the low tone, right? And then he wasn't able to, and then they just kept telling me, come to physio at the hospital. So we were doing that, just saying low tone, low tone, low tone. Nothing about, cerebral palsy or anything. Like no one said anything to me. Just he was low tone. You need to work on his core strength and stuff like that. July of 2020, my best friend of probably 20 years passed away of breast cancer. And I'm still, it's COVID. So you're going to these appointments with yourself. My husband wasn't allowed to come with me. I wasn't allowed to have my mother-in-law with me or my mom, like anybody. So you're not navigating this medical system through two griefs. And a newborn that you still don't know there's a health concern with or a health challenge with until, I want to say, September of 2020. I noticed he wasn't responding or jumping to his name, or with the coffee grinder, he wasn't like turning to or anything like that. So then we found out after some extra tests that Max was actually deaf and blind. So he's got CVI and he's legally deaf. We have birth hearing aids. We find out from the neurologist that he also has epilepsy. So his eyes were doing like the stutter back and forth. And our normal doctor, or GP, it's totally fine. Don't worry about it. It happens in newborns. They're just getting acclimated. No, I knew there was something wrong. That was that. This is all in 2020. I don't remember. Like, I'm giving you guys segments because that's what I remember. I can honestly say I do not remember the first year and a half, almost 2 years of Max's life, just with postpartum and grief. I've blocked out most of that. Our neurologist was the one that caught his epilepsy. He was doing like a twitch and was like, how long does he do that? And it was just involuntary spasms that led us down this road. And I can say today he'll be 5 in May. And as of New Year, he hasn't had a seizure. Medical, medication controlled. Well, for now, I will say it's he got a G tube put in on New Year's. So we spent our New Year's this year in the hospital getting the G tube put in. And we're doing it. And on top of that, my husband travels for work, and I'm a full-time working parent too. Like, I work full time. So we're navigating that. So that's kind of Max. That's Max in a nutshell, I guess. We've never been told he had cerebral palsy until he had his epilepsy diagnosis. When we tried to get on, BC has something called the At Home program, and it's just additional funding that helps pay for equipment, diapers, formula, that kind of thing. And you have to be approved for it and go through the approval process. And when I told our neurologist about being originally denied, and we had to, fight the decision, go back on it, appeal the decision, she's like, why didn't you just get a letter from me? I would have told you he had cerebral palsy. And I went, pardon me? He's 3. No one's ever said the word cerebral palsy with me. Oh, well, it's an umbrella term. We don't like using it. If you tell me, like, I'm a straight shooter, if you tell me your kid has cerebral palsy, I'm going to be like, okay, let's go down this rabbit hole. Let's research. What can I do? Da, 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 da. Like, we didn't know about intensives. We didn't know about physiotherapy or any of this stuff until he was 4. And I didn't know about intensives until March of 2024. So last year was our first intensive. And I stumbled upon intensives while scrolling Instagram at 11 o'clock at night, cleaning up barf, because that's his reflux. So that's Max's little story there. That's how we came to our diagnosis. And then between all of that, I've became a raging lunatic when it comes to making awareness for kiddos and families and sharing info. And when we did our last intensive September, our facilities we go to in Calgary, they had a Trexo. And that's how I stumbled upon you guys. And I was like, how do I get one of these machines? And they're like, well, this is the mother of the machine. It's very expensive. And I was like, what does the mother of the machines mean? And they're like, oh, it's for the clinics. I'm like, oh, how do I get one for my house? And then, you're doing the intensive. So, you sit on the couch doing your whatever there while the kids are doing their thing, and you research. And then I'm like, okay, there's the price tag. Let's fundraise. Let's talk about it. And it just kind of spiraled from there. Will probably say I'm very annoying on social media. I tag you guys all the time and stuff. Tag our local news. I tag our sports teams, whether they're pro or amateur. Like the 26th is epilepsy awareness, and the local donut shop that I work by. They're doing an epilepsy donut to funds go to the BC Epilepsy Research Center. So I blew them up today. I've become very obnoxious, my friends would say, in a good way.
The squeaky wheel gets the grease, honestly.
Yeah, and
All
I'm
day.
usually like the quiet one in the background, and my husband is like extremely quiet. So he's like the opposite of me. I'm loud, obnoxious, and he's just like the silent, slow worker that's like Mr. Reliable, who I love him for in the background. And I'm sure he's just cringing sometimes with the stuff that I say and talk about. And yeah, you navigate the full-time working mom thing with a special needs kiddo, and my 8-year-old is 8 going on 20, so full of action. So you're jumping between working, 2 adults that are working, 2 kids, one's at appointment after appointment after appointment, and then we also have your extracurricular lives, because we've made it our family. We're doing our best to make sure that we still have like a somewhat of a social life, I guess.
I gotta live, but yes.
Yeah, like we're both we're a very sports oriented family. So my husband plays baseball. I play, mixed slow pitch with him. He plays mixed slow pitch as well. Our oldest is in tadpole, so he's into baseball and soccer. So we just make sure that we're still trying to do the quote unquote normal thing and come along for the ride. And it's kind of cool. Like we had practice yesterday, and Max came with us. Like, Max got to eat. Hold on, I got to plug him in. You're like, what? And then I'm like, I'm so nonchalant about it. Like, I was like, oh, I had to go plug my kid in. They're like, what are you talking about?
Yeah, but that's normal. That's
For
fine.
me, right?
Yeah,
that's for us.
Yes.
And that's like, this is our new normal, and it's normal for us, and it's great, But yeah, my big thing when I started down all of the fundraising was parents need to ask questions and be okay with asking questions. Like, Sarah, you've said multiple times on the previous podcast, nobody checks in on the parents. It's always like, how's the kiddos doing? Check in on the parents. Like, I don't remember the first year and a half of my kid's life, and nobody even noticed. I was just, going through the motions like a hamster on a wheel. Like, I had to ask for help with my toilet from one of my best friends. And I'm still like, oh my God, I had to ask for help.
But it's such a thing, and I really don't, and I still won't, and I will constantly bring it up to every time I go to a doctor's appointment, people, whoever. Why are we not asking our parents, how the hell are you? Because holy crap, come on, all 3 of us are special needs parents. For real, shit gets hard sometimes, and that's an understatement, and that's just being kind. And we are all human, and we can only take so much. And some days, there's just days that we just we just can't do it today.
Yeah. So what I've done with the podcast with you guys. We did a CBC Alberta interview thing, whatever it is, segment, and our local paper did an article on Max as well with our equipment. And my main thing is, like, it's okay to ask for help, and it's okay to get second and third opinion. Like, looking back, I just went through the motions of, like, sure, I trust my doctors. I do trust my doctors, but I should have asked like questions and gotten another ultrasound and made sure my dates were correct after they were changed 3 times. Like, obviously you don't think about that, and maybe it couldn't. You never know. Like, you're always looking for the what if in the beginning.
So that's the one thing that never changes. You're constantly looking back and how did I create this situation in any way, shape, or form? If I could have, would have. Oh, it doesn't matter. There's no way you could.
Yeah.
Like.
And then you grieve the life that you think you had, right? And that was the other thing you throw back in.
Yep.
You're now learning this new normal, but you're grieving your life that you thought I was going to be. Like, I'm a boy mom through and through. I'm so thankful that probably nobody really needs another girl like me running around. Like, my 2 boys are good. They're spicy. They're just like me, but you know what I mean? Like, you grieve that life, and then you think of the what if, and then it makes it worse, and then throw in the 2 deaths, and now I'm triple grief. It's just a lot. I'm very thankful for our village, and it's not just family, it's friends that are family, and they've stepped up and they put up with my bullshit, and it's a lot of bullshit sometimes. Even my husband, our friends joke that he's a saint because he puts up with my shit, and I'm like, I'm sorry. He's not home, right? So he's working right now. The toilet originally broke. I can't believe this whole podcast about the stupid fucking toilet.
It happens to everybody.
Yeah. Well, this is like your life is already like at the precipice, and then the toilet breaks, and like it's like the wheels just fell off the car. Like everything just you don't have bandwidth for that crap.
But I had to call my father-in-law because obviously my dad's not around, and I feel bad because he's retired his son's out of town, and I'm like, help me. What do I do? And I'm like, the float would stop. So whatever, turn it off. And then Friday night it worked. So it's worked all weekend until yesterday. It sounded like I had a waterfall in my bathroom. And I was like, geez, like, you know, you're the phone a friend. Help me. I'm a poor little girl. This is a blue job. I don't know how to fix toilets. I can do a lot of blue jobs, but not that.
I think it just amplifies just because I think we all sit here and try to go, we can do it ourselves. We don't want to ask because we already have enough asks we do. And the last thing you want to do is more. And you're just like, you just have to like you brought up, like you have to just throw that mentality, throw that shit out the window. And like, you need help, you need help. Your toilet's taking a shit. No pun intended. Gotta call somebody to get some help. I mean, think about it. We can't know everything. I mean, we try. I mean, for Pete's sakes, we really try, but we don't know everything.
I'm not gonna say it. I'm not saying it. My wife is too close for me to say anything.
Anyhow, so yeah, you know, navigating working parents and special needs kiddos that need the extra love, and it's
It's a bandwidth game.
How's your employer with it?
My employer is phenomenal. I tried to, when I came back off of mat leave, I did the 1 year mat leave. So in BC, you have a choice of 18 months or 12 months. So I did it 1 year. When I came back, I kind of kept everything to myself and just tried to work through everything. And then one day I had like, there's always like blocks of appointments, right? So you have like your 6 to 9 month follow up. So ours is always April is a giant block of follow of appointments where I'm like barely at work, and then September. So this was like in April, probably right after I came back in May. So about May, June 2021. And he had made a comment and was like, oh, look, you finally came into work today. You want to like be here for a day and then take off? And I just kind of like snapped because he didn't know. Like I told my office manager, but I just assumed she would have told him. So hold on. I'm a real estate legal assistant. So I was busy in BC. I thought our office manager told my lawyer and she didn't. So then I'm like, all right, fine. Now they've been there for 18 years this August. So it's not like I'm a new chick there.
Oh yeah.
Fine. Okay, fine.
She comes.
Yeah.
You're gonna die.
I'm gonna cut.
And then I'm like, okay, listen, here's the deal. And I like lay it out for him, and his face was just like, shit, I didn't know. Okay, sure, yeah, whatever. So they're very, very good to me, and I am so grateful for them. My husband's company, the whole company just recently found out about Max's diagnosis a year ago. My husband's very quiet, very soft-spoken, very private. I'm the complete opposite. I will talk your face off about anything. You want to know what I did yesterday? Let's talk about it. You want to crack a beer? I'll get drinking and talk even more. Like I just keep going, and I don't shut up unless I'm told to shut up. And I did something with the fundraiser for the Trexo. They did a fundraiser where they did like breakfast sandwiches, and you would scan your QR code and it would go into the GoFundMe, or you could e-transfer us into Max's medical account, bank account. So it just went from there. And then his owner and his wife, who are so amazing, they matched all the donations. And then now that they're fine, because I actually have to tag him in to do things. So Max does hydrotherapy on Fridays, and it starts at 5 o'clock. Well, I don't get home until at least 5:30. So I make my husband do the hydrotherapy, and I'm thankful for that because it's one last appointment that I don't have to do, and I'm not like I don't want to do it. It's just I need that break from it. And I hate using the word I need a break from my kids. I don't need a break from my kids. I just need a day that's not involving me doing appointments and leaving work early.
You just need some time to do some stuff.
I hate cleaning, but I want to clean the house.
Isn't it weird? I don't know about you, but like I now enjoy cleaning, and like my house isn't like a wreck, but like now I find zen in it. I'm like, because it's just you can be in your own space, and for the few minutes or however long, you just can just zone out a little.
It's weird. Work out without being interrupted. Like I just like 45 minutes to myself. That's not a lot to ask for.
Like
back to ask your parent. Like ask how a parent needs. Like we need something, and it's always like, oh, you need a break, and it's like, no, you don't need a break. You just need a checkout for 45 minutes to get yourself back on the track.
It's legit, no doubt.
Well, and what ends up happening is if you don't do that for a long enough period of time, you burn out and you're done. So the best thing that you could be doing for your kiddo is doing something for yourself.
I've always said, even before we had kids, well, I guess, yeah. You know how people say, oh, you can't, I'm a mom, you don't understand. Or, no, I can't do that anymore, I'm a mom. That's complete fucking bullshit. I'm sorry. I absolutely hate that excuse. It drives me up the goddamn wall. And I'm sorry for swearing, but it gets me going.
I tell you, girl.
Like, you gotta put, anyways, it just makes me boil. Yes, okay, we're parents. You're a dad, you're a mom, I'm a mom. Yes, you're no good to anybody if you're not good to yourself. So I've always said from the get go, even like when I met my husband, I was like, listen, so when I get married, we have kids, you're gonna know like I'm gonna be quote unquote selfish. It's me and my mental health and my physical health first, and then it'll control. Because if mom's not happy, like that saying, mom's not happy, no one's happy. It's true. But you gotta like work with yourself first. You have to take that as a parent first, and then if you're thriving, your relationship with your spouse or your partner, it's thriving. It's showing your kids how to be healthy, happy, and loving and thriving. It's just all. It's like the opposite of shit rolls downhill. It's like good vibes roll downhill, and it's exhausting being miserable. It's more exhausting being miserable than it is being happy.
Oh man, it is. Yeah, yeah, it is so much work to be upset.
You know, we talk, there's many times we'll have meetings and, we talk to, obviously a lot of special needs families and, all over the world and, everywhere and just, so many different stories. And you just, there's times, and as you know it, sometimes if you're a stay-at-home mom, sometimes you don't even have any adult interaction besides making appointments, doing all the basics, and you get on the phone with them and they're like, wow, like you're kind of friendly, like, and they just need a minute.
And that becomes their identity, and then unfortunately, it's very common for like the spouse to come home and then the spouse is completely checked out because they worked all day. And I'm not saying that's right or wrong. It's just whatever works for your family. And our family, that shit don't fly. Like,
amen, sister.
Don't fly. I joke about like our pink and blue jobs, but we have like our purple jobs where everything's down the middle. With the toilet's a blue job, by the way. Also, my mother-in-law, who's smaller than me, raised 5 boys. So I'm also outnumbered by the male gender, so it's a blue job. Broken or not broken, it's still a blue job.
No, it's a blue job in my house too.
But like, you know what I mean? Like you get these stay-at-home moms, and I feel so bad for them. And then throw in, what if you're a stay-at-home medical mom? Like I'm struggling as a full-time working parent with 2 kids, 1 medical challenged, and I'm like, have my moment. Like I need to go cry in a corner and don't touch me, don't talk to me. Like I need a moment. And what if that's what if that's your only identity? You know what I mean? Like I don't know. It's a struggle, and I just always tell even people that are parents, like if you become a parent. I mean, I thought I was gonna have this cookie cutter white picket fence boy mom. And don't have that.
I don't even think that exists.
No, not at all.
I think it's a total, it's all bullshit.
It's hilarious. Like it's anyway. So when I'm circling back to the fundraising and being obnoxious, obnoxious about everything. I just talk about it. I used to like wanna not hide. I guess it's part of it. Like you hide a little bit, like your diagnosis, and if you were to like look at Max, you wouldn't know that there's any challenges with him until you try to like sit him on the floor. I'll always remember when my girlfriend's kids didn't know, and they took him out of his swing that we have. When they're littler, they have like the automatic swings to just put them to bed, or just to give you a minute. She pulled him out, and then she went to like sit him on the floor, like how you would like a chunky little baby, and he just like weekend at Bernie's, it just
Yeah.
like, oh my god, poor Max.
Weekend at Bernie's is like an adjective in my house. Absolutely.
Like it's absolutely everything because he's so low tone. Like if he's the level 5 GVRM or whatever do you want to throw at me? Like sure. I don't remember half the stuff. Like I'm like, can we talk like I'm dumb, please? Yes, he's very low tone. But that was like, I'm like, man, I need to be more aware of people. And what I'm noticing is like, unless you share, people don't ask, and they're afraid to ask. They don't want to upset you. I'm like, it's not upsetting. I'd rather talk about it. I can talk for hours.
They're afraid to ask. That's the thing.
Yeah, I mean, they don't know what what do we say? How do we bring it up? Are you gonna start crying?
The elephant in the room, but like Jesus Christ, it's not the elephant in the room.
That's my son. That's my son.
Yeah.
Yes, man. We're good.
Our little tribe or village or whatever, like my in-laws, friends, family, friends that are family, like all of them, like they love our boys. They love us just as much, and they like, hey, my toilet blew up. Can you come help me, please? Yes.
Absolutely.
Like, so yeah, you need that, and it's okay. I'd always just stress that it's okay to talk about it. It's okay to ask for help and get second opinions. And, if you need to fundraise, find the grants. You guys had Abby on a couple of weeks ago, and she's amazing. So it's all these things, all these doors are opening. And then you find like the Facebook support groups. We have a Facebook BC medical support group for complex kids that I just stumbled upon from our physio. And the stuff in there has been phenomenal. Like info I didn't even know because our doctors didn't tell me because they want to skirt around the issue instead of being blunt and to the point.
Well, yeah, I don't know. They did the same thing with me, and I thought like it was for the purposes of trying to like spare my feelings or make the conversation easier or more palatable or whatever. I don't give a shit. Hit me with a sledgehammer. Do it. I need like.
Be hit with a sledgehammer so I can digest it on my own time.
Tell me what is going on. Don't beat around the bush. You're wasting everybody.
My other half says it perfectly. Sarah, it's called practicing medicine for a reason. I'm like, well, shit. And honest to God, I mean, there is some really big truth to that, not in such a negative point. It's like anything. Do we know, like, it's such a big job. It's such a big, if you take every individual, all of our kids are completely different. How in God's green earth is the medical professional going to know absolutely everything? They really aren't. There's just no way. That's why we have specialists on specialists on specialists.
Yeah.
I think what happens is, and I think what needs to be happening is some of them just don't have the cojones to own it. Like, hey, I don't fucking know. I'm gonna, you know what? Shit. Let me send you somewhere else. And that's, I'm not sure, and I would, that's who I'm staying with. Because you know what? They have the wherewithal to own it and just say, look, I want to help you, but this isn't my forte, but let me get you somewhere that I believe is. That's what you need in your corner.
I mean, our neurologist, shout out to our neurologist, because I flat out told her, I'm like, she was the one that said Max has cerebral palsy, and I'm like, well, fuck, you could have told me this a year ago when I tried to get this at-home program before I had to appeal the process. And she's like, you didn't ask. I'm like, what? And I'm like, you know what? From here on in, just be blunt to me. She goes, you were very sensitive, and I'm like, no, I totally get that, but also, hey, have you seen my past year? Like,
yeah, see these shoulders? They're big enough.
I'm a half a human. So I told her, give it to me blunt from now on. And oh man, she is amazing. She will not beat around the bush. When it came to the G tube, she's like, listen, enough is enough. You're fighting with all these medications for Max's epilepsy. I know the reasoning behind you not wanting to do the G tube. I can't support this anymore. You need to do it. And he wasn't like malnourished or anything like that. He was just, now you can tell that he's chunky now. You can't see his ribs. And I respect that she took my feelings into consideration for the G2 because the reason, like, okay, so my dad, before he passed, he was on a feeding tube as well because esophageal cancer, you can't eat, right? Because the same idea as like low tone CP, you're going to choke. So they put a feeding tube in him. So I watched that in my house for 3 months. And then you get told from your neurologist a year later, hey, your son needs one, and you're like, no, not ready for that. Sorry, no. And there's other ways around it, so that's fine. And then fast forward to this past New Year's, I'm like, okay, let's do this. Yeah, it's time. And that's just how I am. Give it to me blunt and let me come around to the idea myself. And, she's really good at that. But if she has always known if she needed to say, we need to do this, enough is enough, cool, you're the boss. This is your forte. So That's what she did, and it was great. But yeah, there's so many times the parents just, okay, cool. Like, look with his ultrasound. Yeah,
But I
no
think
problem.
you bring up a good point, though. At the end of the day, first of all, when you start, you're down that path, you're not accustomed to it, and then they're saying things that are foreign to you. What do you? You're still hearing it, but you're really not. It's not sinking in to where you're going to say, "Wait a minute, what? No, no, no. Back up. Let's talk about this." It still hasn't even gotten into it to soak in to really get through all that. I think we can all sit here and just go back and go, "How did I react when I first heard a little or of that?" It's like you go through so many mixed emotions, whether it's denial, no, not my kid, or oh, it'll get better next week, or we all sit here, oh, he'll walk. I'm hopeful. You're just always in that, like you said, what you think or thought your life should be or should have been, and there's days that you can. I'll visit it from time to time, and you go down that rabbit hole. I mean, it
Yeah.
sucks.
We were, I kind of think back, we're in like the last couple of years, I had something in my gut. After we found out about the intensives, and I was scrolling Instagram, and the algorithm caught me. Thankfully, the algorithm caught me. They were told, Max may never walk, and it just didn't sit well with me. And I'm like, this kid will walk one way or another. He's going to walk. It may not be traditional. Me and what my husband thinks I'm that sometimes, but psychics or whatever, card reading, all the juju. I want all the juju stuff. And I did a reading, and she's like, Max will walk, but it won't be how you and I think of it. And then fast forward 2 years later, and we have a machine that he is walking in. But I think about that, and it's like, you just trust your gut sometimes, and like Bob the Builder stuff. Hey, I put that together. Wasn't the engineer husband? But he's gonna kill me when he sees it.
He'll be happy that he didn't need to fix the toilet.
Oh my god! I told him about that this morning too. It's like 4 a.m. in Hawaii, and I'm like, call me right now. He's like, what? I'm like, the toilet broke. And he's like, again? I'm like, sorry. I don't know. I know I'm doing I feel like I have like a thinking bubble, and all these little shoots are coming off the thinking bubble, like brainstorming when we were in school 20-something years ago, and it's just like, oh my goodness, I can't stop rambling on, tangenting. But I don't know. I've always asked the questions, and then I do like the scrolling, and then I research, and I do this, and I do that, and I'm like, oh my goodness, this is just. I really wish that. I think I'm in the wrong line of work. If I think of what I'm in, the wrong line of work now. I'm in the research field. I need to be working with kids now to get like info out and parent helping and stuff like that. But yeah, I don't know. I think I just want, if anything, I've always said for Max to be a role model, or our family to be like a role model for other families. It's okay to like ask for the help, ask for a second opinion, ask for a third opinion, try something random that just pops up on your Instagram. At the intensive, nobody knew about it. Our community therapist, nobody knew about it. I now bring home the home sessions and give it to my physios, and they're like, okay, we're gonna do this program now. I'm like, yeah, you're right, because I paid a lot of money for it. Like, this is what we're following, and we'll start our new adventure September. Max starts kindergarten, and that's a whole new adventure. And the school's already told us they're excited to have field trips with the machine, which I'll have to go do because I'm not letting the school touch our very expensive robot, as my son would call it.
I will sway you a different way on that one if you give me.
Once I get familiar with it, I have my third module training with Corey on Monday, the 31st.
You're super fresh, but yeah, no, you'll get to realize that the thing is like right now it's like pristine and like untouched. You'll learn that you can just beat the tar out of it, and it makes no difference.
If I can take it outside, it's great. Like I ride on the treadmill, so I mean we're in BC. It rains like 9% of the time. I don't want it getting wet, so I take it outside when it's nice.
Get the utility base.
Yeah.
Oh, it's like my Veer wagon. I got tired of using like our bob stroller. I love our bob stroller for like ballparks and soccer, but the support sucks in it. So we have a special tomato chair, and that special tomato chair fits in our Veer wagon, and it's awesome. Max goes riding in style, and we're like, what?
You know what else those fit in? The big toboggans that get pulled behind a snowmobile. You can fit a special tomato in there and push it down a hill, and they're solid as a rock. I used to do it. Like the big, it's like a big trough, like a peel. You just peel it off the base, like wedges in the same width. It's perfect.
Pool noodles are our friend. I use those things for everything.
Our daycare has pool noodles all over the high chair because
Yep.
before Max has core strength, he still kind of does it for sensory. He hits his head, so she's got pool noodles around the back of the shell. Hey, it works. Like
Oh, yeah.
we Bob the Builder stuff. We are I'll go my generation. We MacGyver stuff together.
I brought painter's tape with me in my flippin' suitcase because
Yep.
it comes in handy with the pool noodles and, oh my God, don't ask what I bring.
Duct tape. My truck's got electrical tape, duct tape, and painter's tape. We have a Allen key set and some sort of a screwdriver. I think it's a star. Don't ask me what it's called. I don't know. It's a star.
So, fun fact, the little square, the Robertson, was designed less than a kilometer from my house.
Let me ask you, Jamie, what would you tell parents that might listen for the first time and they pick your podcast and they're apprehensive or just kind of new to special needs or just, starting their journey and trying to navigate working and questioning how the fuck do I do all of this? What would you say? We've all been there and we still have those moments for sure. What would you suggest and say to them?
I would say give yourself some grace, and it's fucking hard. It's hard. It's hard without having special needs kiddo. It's hard with having special needs kiddo. Just keep moving forward. Keep your legs going. If you need a minute, it's okay, and lean on your people, whether it's your spouse or a partner or your in-laws or friends or family. Lean on those people, and it's okay to question your medical team. And I'm not saying question like your diagnosis is wrong. I'm saying if you don't understand something, ask. I didn't know that low tone was cerebral palsy, and I would have never thought to ask. I also didn't know that there was multiple levels of CP, and it's okay to ask, how did this happen? Or maybe not question yourself, but you can ask for your records, and you can, nothing's going to change what happened, right? Like there might not even be like a significant what happened. Max he was healthy. There was nothing wrong. I had the best pregnancy ever. It's the cards that you were dealt with, and as much as it's really shitty and it sucks, it might take some time, but you have to embrace it. Okay, we'll go back to like the sports analogies from my family. Embrace the suck. The suck is what makes it good. I don't know. I want to say like it is what it is. All these cliches are coming out of my mouth right now.
No, that's what it is. It is. It's just cliche after cliche, but like when you can actually internalize it and understand it, then it's not cliche, but it's what you gotta do.
It goes back to give yourself the grace, because it took me a good 2.5, almost 3 years to understand and accept what was going on. And accepting with yourself and accepting also allowed me to share more with other people and be open. And you also have to remember, check on your spouse or your partner. Like I forget, like yes, I'm the strong one. I do all the scheduling and all that stuff, and I do 90% of the appointments. I kind of forget my husband has the heart too. Like I'm like, oh, I gotta check on him. Are you okay? Like this really sucks for Max, and I'm losing my shit. How are you? And you kind of forget when you're in it, right? Like there's another person involved in it, and that's like, check on the parents, check on your partner. Like they might not be like as forthcoming as I am. I wear my heart on my sleeve, and I will talk your face off about how I'm feeling or not feeling or whatever. And then if I don't and I'm internalizing it, I explode. Well, my husband never talks about it. Like he's very quiet, and I love him for that. Like I love that he's the yin to my yang. But you need to check in on those people. Check in on your partner. Check in on your people. Yeah, I don't know. That's what I would say. And it's okay. Like you're gonna go through the stuff, and you're going to get some good days and bad days, and eventually you get more good days than you do bad days. That's
No, it's true. We've talked about this previously on a podcast in the sense of the rabbit hole and, going to other means to try to cope, and, that can totally turn into just a shit show. And, you self-cope and self-medicate and, on. And bottom line is, you know, marriages, relationships, partnerships, whatever you're in, is hard enough as it is. And then adding more layers to it is just a whole nother ballgame. As a book has chapters, intros, that's exactly what the relationships do. We're gonna have ups, downs, and just like I remember going and I always talk just like going to a counselor, describing it as a sense of your life as a rubber band. It's going to expand so far that you think it's going to break, but you have the capacity to bring that rubber back in and back to the normal size. So it has that capacity to go up and down and stretch, and you think it's going to snap, but you just got you got to go with it. And you're right. I think that's super important. It's the same. Check on your partners.
Yeah. The counseling's great. I love therapy. Without special needs therapy is awesome. Like, I think,
amen.
Everybody needs therapy. We're all fucked up. Let's just be honest about it. Everybody has their own little something.
What do you mean? I'm perfect.
From day one. Dang. I have no PTSD or anything or trauma in my life prior to my child.
Yeah. Right? I don't know. Talk about I'm drinking water. This is water. It's not anything good.
You are on your own time, sister. There's no internet on this podcast. I don't think you can get a DUI on a podcast.
There's kids coming home at some point. They're probably stuck in Vancouver traffic trying to get back to the suburb.
I gotta come up with something on that one. That's pretty funny. You're not driving. You can drink in your own home.
I always think, now maybe it's just me, but do you guys ever think, like, so I'm home right now, solo parenting until my husband gets home. You have like 1 or 2 drinks, right? And then something happens. Then what do? You can't get in the car. I mean, you could.
It takes a village, doesn't it?
You know what? You gotta live your life though too. You have to have a like you can't even if take away special needs, no special needs. You had a couple drinks at home and house catches fire. You got to run somebody to the hospital. It's going to happen here regardless. So use your put your smart hat on and, do you need an Uber? Do you need to call the neighbor? Drop your kid off to the neighbor? Like, I mean, you just, it happens. I try not to pigeonhole like when in circumstances like, oh, this, that, oh, because of this. It just annoys me. I hate to have to like say I'm a special needs mom. Like, no, I don't.
It's like the same thing as that. It's like I'm a stay-at-home mom, or you don't understand I'm just a mom. And it's like, no, like
no.
Before we even had Max, it was, oh, let's be so nice. Your husband lets you work out. What? Pardon me, ma'am. Hey, Karen. I don't know if you know this, but I picked up my husband. He didn't hit on me. I hit on him.
I gotta pay the bills. Just because he leaves doesn't mean I have an inheritance. Like, don't assume. Where's the assumptions? I love those ones. I said I'm independently wealthy. I got him covered, sister. Do you want to join the tribe too? Sign up.
So mad at me because I always say, like, my parents are gonna walk in and hear me shouting shit. Like, I don't need you. I mean, I do, obviously. Like, I don't mean it that way. Okay, if I sound like, oh, such a closer asshole. I don't need you, but I want you, and I'm quite fine if something were to happen. I can survive without you, if that makes sense.
There's no pun intended. Yeah, absolutely.
I lived on my own since I was 18. I'm 42 years old. I lived on my own from 18 till 22, and then with somebody from 22 to like 25, and then on my own again. And I stumbled upon my husband in a weekend of baseball and wooed him with my spaghetti. Long story, it's a great inside joke. Actual food, spaghetti, not some code word at 30 years old being like, hey, you want some spaghetti? No, it's actual food.
Are you trying to say, are you on like Backpage? I don't know if they have that again. It used to be roses. How many spaghettis do you want?
Oh my god, it's an ongoing joke for all of our friends. I've known our friends since we were like teenagers, and I'm just like, where'd this guy come from? Hey, you're cute. That's some spaghetti. And that's where it came from. And it was like an ongoing joke in our life now. 42 years later.
It's just spaghetti, and you're in like Flynn.
Yeah, he was very shocked when I handed him a bowl of spaghetti. We're sideways. We talked about fucking pickup lines and beer gardens. It's like late at night.
You could tell working parents. Up after bedtime, tired.
2 strangers on the other side of the country talking about what you guys do today.
Fucking water and spaghetti and pickup lines and page.
So circling back, self-sufficient. I lived on my own. I've been at my job for. I've been at this company for 18 years. I've done my job for over 20 years. Like, I love you, but I don't actually like. We work well together. You used to yang to my yang kind of thing. I don't even know
That's
where I was
good.
going with this. I lost my train of thought.
We're deliriously tired people. No, one of the things of why, like, I never share, like, coming from my background, never. And
Yeah.
like, we talked about this before, and this isn't about me, but just in general with other people. And I always want to, it's healing. It really is,
Totally is.
especially when you have trauma with it, when it's tagged with it, when you had to deal with some bullshit with it, and a loss of a child that you can never get back. And it's just, I wish that upon nobody, especially during COVID. But bottom line is sharing. If I can touch one other person that listens to it and moves them in a way to keep going, that's all that matters to me. I don't mind being vulnerable anymore.
And that's me. Like it worked out well because it was like Sarah's, being vulnerable and Mark was being vulnerable, and it's like that's all I've ever wanted for since we've come into this new life is being vulnerable and sharing. Well, if I could help one family, say it's okay to be a full-time working parent, by the way, and it's okay to ask questions, and it's okay to push back a little bit, and it's okay to try new devices, and it's okay. At the end of the day, it's okay. And 2020 sucks, and I fully circling back that I was gonna come in and cry today because I had to rehash my 2020.
Wow.
And shout out to my therapist Stacy. She's got me so I am okay with caring, and I'm not falling. When my toilet broke up, I was crying like a little bitch all day because I couldn't call my dad to help me. I had to call my awesome father-in-law instead and wake his ass up. I don't know where I'd be without him, but it just wasn't my dad. So I'm like, oh great, I have this podcast on Monday. I cried all day yesterday. I'm like, horrible. No tears.
Well, I bet you we could sit here and bullshit for hours and hours. I'm sure we probably are all ready to go to bed. I'm going to ask, I just want to say thank you. Thank you for coming on and wanting to be on the show podcast. No shows here. No, it's just it's nice to get an opportunity for us to actually talk to another parent candidly that can relate and just enjoy our shit show. I mean, we Mark and I have had our some serious moments one-on-one before, and I'll call him. I'm like, I'm gonna lose my shit, brother. I need help. I need a little reel it in. Bottom line, like
that one person, yeah.
It doesn't, like I said, it doesn't need to be a big village. You need your tribe can be big or small, just that they're just reliable. So
somebody that gets it, they don't even have to get it. They just have to support you.
100%.
That's it. You have to be someone that you can pick up the phone call and be like, you don't need to talk. Just let me rant for a minute and I'll be fine. But just let me do my thing for a second.
I'm going to say some things, pretend I didn't say them.
No, you didn't.
Yeah. No.
If anybody ever heard my real story that didn't know me, I'd be in the loony bin for life.
Oh yeah.
So many crazy things. But I think it's just it's insightful, it's helpful. Continue on crusading for your son, family, and also just the network that you have around you. And because again, just having that premise of wanting to help and advocate for others again is just vital, because there are so many families, so many parents that don't have the wherewithal to speak up. And if it's people like us that can do that for them or empower them to open and speak, then we're doing what we need to be doing,
So I'm going to tell a real quick one. So just after, what was it, I don't know, 4 or 5 days after we did the first podcast, like that it got aired the first time, because I was skeptical of this whole thing because I'm a skeptical person. But I had a grandmother call me, she was at Oakville Trafalgar Hospital with her daughter and her granddaughter, and said that I don't know what drew them to listen to the podcast, but just having somebody else's opinion, like just hearing somebody else's story that has gone through the same garbage that they were going through at that time was just a breath of fresh air, and that it was incredibly insightful and helpful and all these things that I didn't think it was at all. But at the same time, it's people telling their stories like that, and yourself and Sarah and myself, that make it not the elephant in the room and make it easy to have a conversation about, which ultimately is the point.
You realize that the medical world for the medical families it's a lot bigger than it's made out to be. When you
Agreed.
first get it, you think you're in this tiny little vacuum, and you're not. And everybody helps each other. Like I've had families reach out from Alberta, from Saskatchewan, from Kelowna. I don't even know where half of them are. I have people following me on Instagram now because I've made like a public. It's now, and I'm like, hey, what's up? And they're asking questions. Well, I'm like, I don't even know where you are. Where is it? Sure, yeah, like ask away. I'm all for it.
Yeah, I honestly felt like I've been on a campaign of spreading awareness for 4 or 5 years, and that's all I'm really doing.
Yeah.
Doesn't it feel like you're barely even scratching the surface?
Yeah.
And this isn't even a new thing.
No.
I mean, this has been going on forever. And it feels so crazy that it's such a foreign still.
Yeah.
It's awful.
We'll change it. It's all good.
Yeah. Baby steps, right? One little block at a time. 2 steps forward, 1 step back. It's still building something.
That's right. That's right.
It's a great way to close the evening. Jamie, it's been a pleasure. It really has.
Oh, I love this. I love shooting the shit and being able to.
Hey, anytime, we don't even have to be on a podcast. Get on our calendars and
I was going to say, if you need a drink, let me know. You can reach me on the chat app. Just type @Mark and let me know that it's happy.
So, oh my God, a couple of years ago, I'm going to say 2021, maybe 2022. So I work in real estate, right? So we had a new build go through for big buildings, like 300 units, something stupid closing. And this developer wanted them all done, conveyed to the new owners before Christmas. So I ended up doing like 40 units a day. And my boss and I are like, what the hell? How are we going to do this? We always have like Christmas parties and days off here and there. And we did like a buffet, a potluck lunch on one of the days. I've never seen so many bottles of champagne, and our like owner was like, what the hell are you two giggling about? Because it's just the two of us. This was before I had a partner at the office helping me, that are assistant. And I'm just sitting in the library, like dealing with Max's shit, dealing with my regular child, trying to work stupid 14-hour days and maybe longer. And I'm just like drinking champagne out of a bottle with my other boss. And it's just like, you didn't see this. No, you didn't. You saw me drinking the champagne out of a bottle, crisscross applesauce in the middle of our boardroom. No, you didn't. He just walked away. Okay.
Yep.
But, I mean, we're multitasking queens and kings. I mean, I'm grocery shopping either in the Oval Office, porcelain throne, or when I can't sleep at night. And I don't have time to go to the grocery store. I have learned to just accept it.
Delivered to my house
all day. I do it every day, all the time. It's, God bless them. I mean, saves me so much time.
Yeah.
It's so much useless, because I get in the store, I'm like, I better not go hungry. Like, you can't shop hungry. I'm like, oh, let's get this and that. They got, I get on the app. I stay stringent. But anyways, point being, you maximize every little bit of free time you have to get shit done.
Or the 9 o'clock scrolling. I really should go to bed right now. Or have
Yes, I've done some serious shopping in the middle of the night.
The subscription is your friend, especially for diapers. I'll keep spreading the word about this lovely robot machine that my oldest would call it Max's robot legs.
We can't wait. We cannot wait to
when
see
it
it.
gets nicer out and have them at the ballpark. Thank you for having me. This was awesome.